Well, today Pope Leon XIV lands in Algeria for a historic visit as he starts Africa tour. His Holiness the Pope will also visit countries like Cameroon, Angola, and Equatorial Guinea during his 11-day trip to the continent. Papa Leo has begun a landmark to visit Algeria in the first trip to Muslim-majority country by a pontiff. News in the detail.
His Holiness Pope Leo lands in Algeria for a historic visit as he starts Africa tour. The Pope will also visit Cameroon, Angola, and Equatorial Guinea during his 11-day trip to the continent. Pope Leo XIV has begun a landmark visit to Algeria in the first trip to the Muslim-majority country by a pontiff. The United States-born Pope arrived in the capital Algiers at around 9 on Monday, an AFP news agency journalist traveling aboard the papal plane said. He is expected to pay tribute to victims of Algiers' War of Independence from France later in the day. The 70-year-old pontiff is on an ambitious 11-day tour of 4 countries in Africa, urging global leaders to address the needs of the continent, where more than a fifth of the world's Catholics live, according to Vatican statistics. Algeria, however, is an overwhelmingly Muslim country with fewer than 10,000 Catholics among its population of some 48 million people. This is the first time to host a Catholic Pope. The trip is aimed at continuing to build bridges between the Christian and Muslim worlds, the Archbishop of Algiers, Jean-Paul Vesco, told AFP. After 2 days in Algeria, Leo will go to Cameroon, Angola, and Equatorial Guinea in a whirlwind tour of 11 cities, traversing nearly 18,000 kilometers over 18 flights. The 3 Sahara nations the Pope is visiting have populations where more than half identify as Catholic. The Pope, who has emerged as an outspoken critic of the US-Israel war on Iran, has made only one major overseas trip since being elected last May. Visiting Turkey and Lebanon in November and December, he visited Monaco in March. He is expected to touch on many topics in 25 planet speeches over 11 days. Vatican spokesperson Matteo Bruni told the journalist on Friday, given that the 4 nations face diverse issues.
During his historic visit in Algeria, His Holiness Pope emphasized on the significance of forgiveness and thanked Algeria for forgiving each other throughout last decade. Let's listen to the message from His Holiness the Pope XIV.
Algeria is a great country with a long history, rich in traditions, dating back to the time of St. Augustine and well before. It is also a painful history, marked by periods of violence. Yet, precisely thanks to the nobility of spirit that characterizes you, which I sense is alive even here and now, you have been able to overcome these trials with courage and integrity. Your presence here at this monument pays tribute to this history of Algeria and to the very spirit of a people who fought for the independence, dignity, and sovereignty of this nation. In this place, let us remember that God desires peace for every nation, a peace that is not merely an absence of conflict, but one that is an expression of justice and dignity. This peace, which allows us to face the future with a reconciled spirit, is possible only through forgiveness. The true struggle for liberation will be definitely won only when peace in our hearts has finally been achieved. I know how difficult it is to forgive. However, as conflicts continue to multiply throughout the world, we cannot add resentment upon resentment, generation after generation. The future belongs to men and women of peace. In the end, justice will always triumph over injustice. just as violence, despite all appearances, will never have the last word.
The Minister of Emergency